ears tweak. Riding on buzz, but the crowd didn't doubt. They're googling jokes to figure it out. They say
What is up, YouTube? It's your boy Still Khalil, back with another video. Hey man, listen. Today we got a reaction. I don't know what today we is. I don't know what today we is. Hold on, I got some on my. I got a lot of shit, bro. Okay, so let's address some things. I like to look good sometimes, but other times I don't give a fuck. I'm from the country, from down south, you know what I'm saying? I be out here in the mud. I be out here driving trucks and shit. I don't drive trucks. I'm not gonna tell you what kind of cars I got, but I got like small vehicles. Dressing the elephants. I know I got an upside down smiley face hairline. Oprah Winfrey dad actually did that to me. I don't know. So this is the thing. I used to live on Lish Avenue. If y'all know, if you used to live on Lish Avenue, you know whatever I'm saying might be true or not. There was a barbershop on the end of Lish Avenue back in the day, not before we got gentrified. Before y'all out here walking around with your dogs and on bikes and stuff. Who's out here selling crack? You know what I'm saying? So on the end of that, it's a motherfucking barbershop. And apparently, this is what he said to me now. You know what I'm saying? I didn't verify the information. I was a kid. I was dumb. I just listened to what people told me. But he said he was Oprah Winfrey granddaddy. Now, I don't know if that was a selling point to get me in the shop or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if Oprah Winfrey would allow her granddaddy to be out here fucking niggas up like he did to me. And I'm telling y'all this because that was a lasting thing. Like this shit right here, what is it? On this side, I'm not doing this shit for fun. It's not for fashion, motherfucker. I was in a church running and I ran into the pews and knocked that shit lasted forever. It's not going nowhere. I tried to get rid of it. It's not going to go. This shit became one of them motherfuckers. Oprah Winfrey granddaddy. Just disregarding my whole life. He didn't think if I had a career that I was trying to pursue. None of that shit. He was just like, fuck him up. Edge him back. You know what I'm saying? He didn't give him not one damn fuck. Do you understand? And ever since that day, I was never good again. Do you understand how fucked up it is to walk around as a kid with a hairline like this, thinking you're gonna get some motherfucking friends? No, you're not. Nobody's gonna be your friend. You're not gonna get invited to no parties. Nobody gonna care about your dumb ass. Walking around with an upside down smiley face hairline. Do you hear me? So Oprah Winfrey granddaddy owed me a lot of money. I'm saying I hope he got the millions too. He better have a couple millions out of the billion. That's all I'm saying because I'm coming for his ass. Pro-Trump comedian deletes post after huge backlash. I wonder what the backlash was.
All right, check this out. I want to show you guys the importance of relentlessly pushing back against pro-Russian disinformation, against Republican lies, and doubling down on the truth, because multiple right-wing podcasters, right-wing comedians, deleted their pro-Russia or vaguely anti-Zelensky, anti-Ukraine tweets after they were fact-checked. They were called out as liars and nearly bullied into deleting these after they realized, hey, I am just entirely wrong. Like, you guys know Theo Vaughn, right? I actually find him to be quite a funny guy. He's an American comedian. He interviewed Trump. I wouldn't even call him MAGA. He's not MAGA, but he's definitely right-wing coded.
So what is MAGA? If he a supporter of Trump, but he not MAGA, what is MAGA? What is the MAGA? If I'm missing something obvious because I thought MAGA was like Trump supporters, the niggas who wear the hats and shit with the you know what I'm saying. But if he is a Trump supporter, but he don't be wearing the hat, like what do you call them type of niggas? You know what I mean? Because I know we got a lot of them out here too, so we need to identify them, lock them down, so we can know what's going on, pinpoint. You know, so we can identify them and you know what I'm saying, pronoun them correctly. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to be PC. Do you hear me?
In the sense that he's like very country coded, and I find him to be a funny dude. But he clearly knows nothing about the war in Ukraine because he posted some very insane tweets and then deleted them right after. Other podcasters posted very ignorant tweets, then deleted them right after.
I mean, is that ignorant? Because, okay, so listen. In his defense, if y'all don't know what's going on in this current moment when he tweeted this, now I'm sticking my neck out on the line. I don't have to do this now, so I need y'all to like, share, and subscribe. That's all I ask. So in this situation, this nigga from the Ukraine been getting like if I'm not mistaken, like billions of dollars from us, right? Or at least hundreds of millions. If it's not been billions, it's been at least hundreds of motherfucking millions of dollars, right? We've been giving that to this nigga to help him do something. We don't know what it is. We know what it is, but we don't know what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Like, why are podcast comedian bros talking about geopolitics? I don't care what this vaguely right-wing comedian has to say on the situation in Ukraine. I truly don't. But I want to run you through how he got fact-checked, how he deleted everything, because I think it's important to see people like this getting faced with the reality of the war. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you subscribe. Thank you for 1 million. Drop some blue hearts for 1 million. You guys are the best. And let's start here. Theo Vaughn tweeted out yesterday after Trump and Zelensky met. He said, Tell that guy to give us our tax dollars back and GTFO here. Get the fuck out of here. Disrespectful guy using our money and using his own people. It just shows this dude does not have a fundamental understanding of the war, and that's fine. Not every comedian has to, but you don't have to chirp about it online. Number one, Zelensky can't give us our tax dollars back because he doesn't have money. We didn't wire Zelensky money. We gave him old American military equipment that we had in our stockpiles and that we weren't going to use anyway. So it was a win-win.
I don't know if this nigga telling the truth, because why would they purport that we sent them millions and millions of dollars if it was equipment? Why can't we just say that? Why didn't they say we sent them equipment? Why we got to be all vague with it and acting like we all big ball and shot calling out here giving niggas millions and billions of dollars when we just sent them old ass equipment we weren't going to use anyway? See, we got to start telling the truth. That's all I'm saying. We got to start being real with ourselves and each other. We got to start keeping it honest. You know what I'm saying? Like, the report said we sent millions and billions of dollars. So that's why somebody like a comedian who don't actually read that much, because you didn't put it out in the public for us to read, we had to go look for it in fucking publications and shit, which you probably own or are part of or work for. So that's how you know this information. But we, regular motherfuckers who just been watching the news, only seen the reports that said we sent millions and billions of dollars. So don't this nigga needs to chill. You know what I'm saying? Don't come for the comedians now. We just regular motherfuckers trying to live out here, trying to do what it takes to give. Do you hear me?
We give them our old equipment, and Zelensky gets to fight Putin. He then says, disrespectful guy. How is he disrespectful? He wasn't disrespectful. He said, using our money, not money, again, military equipment, and using his own people. He's not using his own people. Ukrainians have wanted to fight for their sovereignty for decades now. Ever since the inception of the country after the Soviet Union was dissolved, Ukrainians have fought and fought for any sort of national identity. So now that Putin is trying to strip that away, many Ukrainians are more than willing to put their lives on the lines to fight for their country, including Zelensky. Zelensky's had a target on his back for 3 years, probably even longer, and he continues to fight. That's also why he doesn't leave his military suit, right? His military costume, because Zelensky wants to show solidarity with the citizens of Ukraine who also all have a target on their back.
Y'all don't know what's going on right here. Niggas was complaining about his suit. They was talking about how he was so disrespectful to the U.S. for coming in wearing a tracksuit or whatever the fuck he got on. I don't even care nothing about that. Motherfuckers was mad at me for wearing suits at my job. They was like, no, you ain't supposed to be this corporate, man. You're supposed to be all relaxed. You making us look like we out of tune.
Everybody who's of Ukrainian identity right now has a target on their back. So then somebody responded and fact-checked him and said, yo, Theo, we weren't sending tax dollars or suitcases full of cash. We were sending billions in old munitions, rockets that we would have to otherwise pay to dismantle. The Ukraine war has cost us nothing in the grand scheme.
I don't know about nothing, but it might have cost us a significant less amount than millions and billions. Okay, that's, we get that. It ain't cost us millions and billions. We didn't actually send them suitcases full of cash. But you telling me that they saw value in something that we didn't see value in at all, and we couldn't sell it to nobody to cover the debt that we got that's overlooming all of our heads to where we can't do shit because we keep talking about the crippling debt, So if they saw enough value in something to accept it as something to help them, obviously it got enough value to be sold, motherfucker. So why we didn't sell it to the highest bidder? Oh, am I getting into something wrong? Is this what treason is or some shit? I don't know how things work. I'm not a government official. I'm an artist and a comedian. So like, share, and subscribe.
And this guy is right. The talking points are so simple and so intuitive, and they line up with reality. All you have to say is, this military equipment would have been very expensive to dismantle due to the toxins. It would have been very, very expensive. You can't just throw it overboard, over a ship, and throw it into the sea. No, it's expensive. So we send it over to Ukraine. They use the military equipment. They use the money we give them back they put it back into the American economy and American manufacturers, and it helps us out. So as more and more people began to fact check Theo Von, he began to feel the pressure and he deleted his post. And then more people begin to fact check him. Somebody says, it was America that backed him. You can't back a guy while you antagonize a neighbor into attacking and then say good luck. So this guy seems vaguely pro-Ukrainian, but also he's wrong. We did not antagonize Russia in any way. Russia has had imperial ambitions for decades now, and we didn't antagonize them. We allowed Ukraine to move more westward. Theo Von then says, I don't know if we will ever know the truth behind all of it. I just don't like his attitude, and I'm sitting in a diner in Toledo, Ohio, a city that could use attention, and we are giving our money to anyone other than our people in places.
Listen, before this nigga go on his little, oh my God, why you so stupid ass rant, we still gotta remember now. He don't know all of this real information. He just heard the reports. And this is my point to y'all as well. We need to stop just listening to the fucking news and go actually, research the shit before we get online saying things. We can talk to our friends. Your dumb conversations with your friends should be the most fun you ever have. But after you get out of that dumbass conversation, you should go to your phone or your computer, whatever you got, look the motherfucking shit up for real. And figure out whether the fuck you sound stupid as fuck or not before you get on the internet and start telling everybody else to believe what the fuck you believe. Because if you're not motherfucking... Hey, man. Listen, we're going to keep going.
This is like a level 1, surface level, wrong talking point. Whenever you hear someone use the talking point, hey, why don't we just give the money that we're giving to Ukraine to our homeless people? It's so simple. You just say, do our homeless people need HIMARS or Abrams tanks?
I mean, depends on what we talking about. Because in some places, the homeless are being treated very badly for no reason other than the fact that they don't have a home because of the people who came in and took all of the shit that they was naturally doing that made them their income and their way of life. They took all that and burnt it down and stuff like that. And then they built a lot of stuff that these people didn't have access to. And they didn't have a way to get in on the front, They couldn't get fucking, what the fuck am I talking about? They couldn't get in on the stocks and none of that shit, So they totally was out of the loop when it came to building up the new city that they was in first. Something like what happened in Nashville and why I had to move. You know what I'm saying? We was there and then we had a lot of stuff going on. Then people came in and started building up stuff we couldn't afford. Then we had to go ahead and get up out of there because we would have been homeless. You hear me? So that's why, maybe the homeless do need some tanks. They might want to start a revolution. They might want to uprise. You know what I'm saying? They might want to. We don't know. I'm not saying that they should, by the way. I'm not inciting the riot at all. If you homeless, you better not get out here until I start fighting. Talking about, Still Khalil told me to go fight for my right. No, I did not. I ain't tell you to do that shit at all. You better get your ass back on the motherfucker wherever the fuck you came from. Don't go out there and start fighting nobody on my behalf. I don't want you to do a goddamn thing. Don't do that shit at all. Now that we got that clear, and it's on the record, I won't be sued.
Does the border need Abrams tanks? Because that's what we're sending over to Ukraine. Highly, highly technical military equipment, not just money. I don't know how many times I have to say it for these Republicans, but Theo Von says, I don't know if we will ever know the truth behind all of it. That's part of the problem. That's what bothers me with conspiracy theories, is that people who are very predisposed to trying to find a conspiracy in everything always think there is some deeper truth. That Putin's not really the bad guy. The media is just making Putin seem like the bad guy, blah, blah. No, it's really that simple. There really is no deeper truth other than the fact that Vladimir Putin, the guy who's actually a dictator in Russia, who came into power in 2000 and then suspended elections for 25 years as a dictator, and Zelensky is not. When a big country starts to invade a tiny country next door and rapes and kills and buries children in mass graves, maybe it is that simple. Maybe Vladimir Putin is just a bad dude, but people just have it so confused, so predisposed to believing in conspiracies, which is a win for Putin. Then Maxim calls out Theo Von even further, gets him to delete his post even further and says, your brain is washed with Russian propaganda, Theo. At least try to learn the truth before saying, quote, IDK if we will ever know the truth. Talk about disrespect. And you can't even spell Zelensky's last name. Brain rot all around, because Theo Von said a post where he said, I don't trust Zelensky, and he spells it completely wrong.
I'm gonna say this very plainly and very clear. For all the old motherfuckers or the super nerdy motherfuckers who don't understand how the internet works. Oftentimes when we post things online, we don't give a fuck about how the shit is spelled, nigga. We put STU when we say stew. We put motherfucking people, we say PPL. Don't nobody give a fuck about how shit is spelled online. Nigga, y'all be fact checking and doing all shit. Well, actually, nobody give a fuck about that shit. We online, nigga. Wait till we get IRL. Do you hear me? Then if a nigga start doing like that, if a nigga do that shit IRL, alright. You can get on his ass.
Somebody else fact checks him and says, the truth is that Ukraine was attacked by the enemy, Russia, our enemy, Russia. The US, along with Europe, backed Ukraine in a fight to keep their nation free. Putin had no interest in peace and violated previous agreements made previously by Ukraine. Ukraine's fight was a righteous one. Then Theo Von says, probably true. I don't trust Zelensky. And then someone says, Theo, please educate yourself and don't turn into a useful idiot for the machine. Russia attacked Ukraine for wanting to join NATO. We can't abandon an ally like this. It's disgusting, but even that is false. Russia did not attack Ukraine for wanting to join NATO. How is Russian propaganda so pervasive? Russia attacked Ukraine for the first time back in 2014, but this was off the back of them attacking Georgia in 2008. This is because Vladimir Putin has always talked about restoring the old Soviet empire, which necessitates invading countries around you. So Vladimir Putin has these grand imperial ambitions to restore the legacy of Russia, and he invades next door neighbors. It really is that simple. He's using the NATO lie as a pretext to invade. But Theo Von doesn't know anything. I don't know why he's commentating on foreign politics. Then someone says, so all the people that thinks Ukraine owes the US tax dollars, like this motherfucker here, Theo, do your math before you talk. The US has earned $200 billion more than usual on oil, weapons, and other sales because of Putin's invasion. Other people were saying, I used to be a fan of you, Theo Von. I'm just really not.
For the nigga who was a fan and then allowed this to not be this is the reason why you're not a fan no more. What did he actually do? That's what I'm saying. All he did was his job as a comedian, which is to be dumb and say things to make y'all laugh or be like, that nigga stupid. That's the fucking point. Like, yes, we uplift people. We uplift people. We educate people through our comedy, through our art, through whatever the fuck we do. But if y'all ain't been able to tell, motherfuckers don't want to learn shit no more right now. Like, so right now, we gotta navigate through this fucking era, you know what I'm saying? With, like, fun.
But here's another podcaster who gave his opinion, then deleted his post. And that's why I made an entire video about this, because this happened like 3 or 4 times where some podcaster or some comedian would make a post showing that they know nothing about the situation, then delete the post hours later after receiving a lot of backlash. Lex Friedman, a podcaster who was born in Ukraine and still somehow said, quote, the amount of disrespect President Zelensky showed to Donald Trump and the American people today was insane. How? How, Lex Friedman? What did Zelensky do? Because it really seemed like it was a trap. It really seemed like Trump and JD Vance wanted to bait Zelensky either way and just snap on him. But then Lex Friedman says, this was a mistake. I have tremendous respect for President Zelensky for the heroic actions he took in the early days of the war, but diplomacy at this stage obviously requires showing respect to world leaders, even more so during tense, difficult peace negotiations. Dude, Trump is the one, I remember about 6 months ago, or maybe it was like 4 months ago, Zelensky and Trump did a meeting at Mar-a-Lago, and Zelensky was so incredibly respectful that even people on the left were kind of annoyed. They were like, Zelensky, you didn't have to kiss his ass that hard, because he was like, I hope we can be friends. He was nearly hugging him, but we all understood why he was doing that. He was doing it for his country. Zelensky has been nothing but respectful to the US, to Trump, to both administrations, including the Biden and the Trump administration. Yet Trump has his personal vendetta, and then he calls Zelensky a dictator. He calls Zelensky all of these nasty, terrible things, and then when Zelensky shows up, the first thing he says is, oh, you wore your nice clothes, or whatever snarky remark he made. And then when he snaps on Zelensky, they say that Zelensky was being disrespectful. I think it's gaslighting in its purest form. Let me know. You guys agree that it's gaslighting. Let me know in the comments. But let's continue. He says, I have tremendous respect for President Zelensky for the heroic actions he took in the early days, but diplomacy at this stage obviously required showing respect to world leaders, even more so during difficult peace negotiations. I did everything I could to help in small ways to build bridges. This was the opposite of that. It breaks my heart. I pray for peace. I mean, now Republicans are calling for Zelensky to step down, to resign. It makes no sense. Zelensky's been probably the best leader you can be during a war like this. Now, someone said in response to Lex Friedman, all Zelensky said was that he can't sign a ceasefire without a security guarantee because Russia has not respected any paper they signed over the last 11 years. People should stop saying it's disrespectful and start explaining how it's untrue.
Again, y'all need to report this shit. We don't speak Ukrainian, nigga. So when we watch the shit, this nigga talk about some y'all with an attitude, we think this nigga trying to get shot. You know what I'm saying? That's all we think. We the American people, we ride for us. I don't care about Trump or nothing, but I care about my country. I live here. This nigga ain't finna come wage war on us, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So when we heard that, when we saw that, we was ready to, you know what I'm saying? So y'all gotta start putting out the information the same way y'all put out the misinformation. You gotta put out the real information. Do you hear me?
It is incredibly untrue. On the world stage, there are bad faith actors and there are good faith actors. It's not always that black and white, but generally, countries are predictable in their actions. And even if a country is unpredictable, that just means that they are a bad faith actor. So for example, Russia broke the Budapest Memorandum, has broken all of these different agreements and accords and meetings. We know that they are a reckless, bad faith actor. They can't be trusted. That's why a ceasefire means nothing without actual security guarantees. Say we give Ukraine the ceasefire and there's no security guarantees. Russia doesn't care about a piece of paper. Vladimir Putin could not give less of a shit about a piece of paper, so he'll just reinvade in 5 years. But if we give them some sort of security guarantees in the form of weapons, or, a nuke as a security guarantee, all of these different things disincentivize Putin from ever invading. And you know what the depressing part is? America has built its credibility over the past 80 years. We built all of this prosperity off of being one of those good faith countries. Article 5 in NATO requires every country that's in NATO to be predictable, meaning they will all respond to an Article 5 attack, but the US is now such an unpredictable ally that Article 5 means nothing, that we've lost years of credibility that we've worked to build up.
So in our defense on that one, that sounds like a trap. If you so predictable that you will respond to an Article 5 with the wham blam, I don't know what the fuck he just said, but it sounds like something that somebody can mimic, right? So if I wanted to attack your country, I can mimic this Category 5 article, whatever the fuck you talking about. I can mimic this on your country. Then you will have to do the things, the protocol, and now you just expose whatever you're gonna do. So now we know what your protocol is. So now when we actually want to attack you, we know how to attack you because we saw your protocol and we made a protocol to go against your protocol, to fuck up your protocol, because your protocol don't mean shit. Do you hear me? So in our defense, why would I show you my cards? Nigga, we playing poker, baby. You better look in my eyes. You ain't seeing shit over here, nigga. Talking about something. They gonna respond. No, we not.
And we are now one of those bad faith actors, just like Vladimir Putin is, which is very, very scary. And then you see Lex Friedman delete his tweet. The person who wrote the last tweet I said, Lex deleting his tweet is so funny. And now the post is unavailable from Lex Friedman. This page doesn't exist. Maybe do a little bit of research if you're a comedian or a podcaster and you want to talk about Ukraine. Just maybe. But I'll leave it at that.
No, nigga. You do a little research if you want to get on the internet and talk to a real nigga. Lame, man. No, I'm just playing. He cool. He got 1 million subscribers. 1 million subscribers. Obviously, I know how this works very well. But, so yeah, man. Look, once again, it's your boy Still Khalil. Bro, if you made it this far to the video, I just want to tell you, bro. Look, our cisgender, what, they, them, whoever you are, I love you. And you are officially a Khalillionaire. That's what I call all the people who ride with me, rock with me, to the side with me, you know what I'm saying? Welcome. You're now part of the team. Subscribe! Thank you, girlie.